Well, I moved again. This is the this is the instrument that my father made in 1929, and it was made because he was singing in a quartet, and they needed someone that could add to their performance, and so they said, why don't you go home and see if you can make an instrument that would be part of our show. And so we lived on a farm, and of course around the farm you have a lot of things laying around the shop and out in the barnyard, and so he went home, and this is one of the things he came up with, and he calls it the tin can. And so we unveil it rather. Do you have a question?
No.
We're going to unveil it rather slowly because this is quite a shock to some people. And there we have this wonderful homemade instrument.
Okay. Why is it called the tin can?
Well, because the main body of the instrument is an oil can. It was a can that oil came in the 1920s, and in those days the oil came in square cans, and that's what this is, a tin can.
Okay. What's it made out of?
Well, there are two or three different things. This is a broomstick here that goes up through the body and attaches itself to the fingerboard. The fingerboard, of course, is a manure fork handle, and that's of course what gives it this rich tone. And there's a cross piece on the bottom here that you put your knees against to hold the instrument while you play it. And then we have two strings on the instrument. These are piano strings, and they go across a bridge here, which is held up in place by sound posts to keep the tension from depressing the top of the instrument. We have a spike in the bottom of the broomstick so that it'll stay put when you go to play it. And so, would you like me to play it now?
Sure.
Well, I know one tune, and that is called Lead Us Strong.
Okay. Now, why was it made?
Well, it was made because the people who sang in my dad's quartet wanted some additions to their show, and so he asked him to go home and figure out something that they could use when they were out traveling the country to entertain people.
Okay. What would it resemble the most?
Resemble a cello the most of anything, because you hold it between your knees and play it with a bow like a cello.
Yeah. And this is what a cello looks like. Okay?
Okay? Okay.
How many tin can instruments are there in the world?
This is the only living example that I know of. I don't think there's another one like it in the world. Okay? Well, the first thing you have to do, of course, is to make sure it's positioned correctly. So you there it goes. Okay. Now, I'm going to use a tape recorder. Usually I have a friend who plays piano for me, but since it was a little far for him to come today, we're going to play the... You know, this is the part that's really sad about this music. It makes one cry. They'll have to start over again. Here's the hard part.
I'd like to thank my grandpa for coming here from Iowa. Thank you.
You're welcome. Nice to be here.
Yes.